Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and to another edition of Off the Prepper's Bookshelf. Now in this video today, guys, I'm going to show you a great book that I attribute to my son getting for 4-H. It's from Sue Weaver, The Backyard Sheep, Introductory Guide to Keeping Productive Pet Sheep. Now I've got these sections marked off that I want to go over because they're the good beef of the book. My wife used to keep sheep. I'm a goat and cattle guy, so I've really never been in touch with the sheep business. So me and John's kind of getting an education from my wife right now. But anyway, opening up into the book, Chapter 2 is a really good one because anybody that's never really been in contact with goats or sheep, they really don't know the whole I would say farming industry, really, even fooling with cattle or so on. Sheep are a very unique creature. When I get on over into the book here in a minute, I'll explain something about just the difference between salt blocks, and I know that from keeping goats. But anyway, the Chapter 2 is a really good one. It breaks it down for you, introducing you to what sheep are, the whole 9 yards about how their makeup and everything, from checking their mouth, checking their body, make sure their behavior's right, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's got a great info on that. Now, the breed, I didn't mark that off because right over here, in just a second, I'll get over to it. Forgive me, there is some color photos. Let me just flip to that for a second. A lot of people want to see color photos whenever they're looking to purchase animals, particularly pick a breed of sheep. We have some friends that have these. These are Barbados. A lot of people call them black bellies, and what that is that's a hair goat. It's not a wool. Some are hair sheep. I'm so sorry. A lot of sheep are hair sheep. Some are wool. And right here, these black face, that's some that my son want to keep. But right here, these are really neat. These are Wensleydale, and you find these in the United Kingdom. But I love it because they got like cornrows going on. It's really, really neat sheep. But anyway, if you want to flip over that section, whenever you get to the point of selecting sheep, it really gives you a lot more detail because you can actually see the pictures of it. So I like that. That's incorporated in the book. Buying your sheep. Now, whenever you go to the market to buy sheep, it's just like buying goats. It's just like buying cattle. You want the very best quality. You don't want to cull. You don't want to runt. I mean, this right here for anybody that is not really in touch with how to keep livestock, a great starter for it. I mean, it goes over things that most people wouldn't think about. I mean, if you need permits to keep your animals, things like that. You know, in some places, I hate to say it, if you don't name your animal and get around on that, you can't even keep the animal because it's not considered a pet. It's considered livestock at that point. So because of city ordinances and things like that, you can't keep it. So anyway, it brings a lot of good points forward. Not only this, quarantine and things is a big issue because you want to make sure that they're going to integrate well with your other animals before you introduce them to them. So anyway, moving on, and there's so much in this book. I'm just covering the sections that really I want to highlight, is predator prevention. Now, we used to have horses, and having a good old donkey around is a useful thing at times, especially whenever you're going to have sheep and goats. Our friend has a llama. That's what he keeps with his black bellies, and that's been really good and beneficial for them. But right here is the option we went for. We got a Great Pyrenees, and I have not regretted that at all. She's so good with the chickens too. I love our Great Pyrenees to death. Sadie is such a good dog. She's really a freeloader most days. But anyway, this right here is what I want to get to about the salt block issue. This book goes over some great things about nutrition, the protein, minerals, vitamins, all the things you need for your sheep. But now, if you keep goats and sheep, you really need to keep that segregated whenever it comes to taking care of them, because although you can give a goat a certain salt block, you cannot give that same salt block to your sheep. Goats are very rugged animals. Sheep, on the other hand, are things that you have to be very careful with and nurture. My wife went over time and time again how difficult it is to keep sheep, and she has had plenty of practice at that. All right. And that comes to this point, doctoring your animals. Any book that you're going to buy, if it don't have the information in there to help assist you with taking care and maintaining your animal, just like you'd maintain a vehicle, it's not a good book. and this book has plenty of information in there about taking care of your animals. Not only this, but I mean, it lays it out graph form. It reminds me of like an essential oil book, the things that you would look for, what to treat it, and so on, and checking them out. One of the things that I'd want to point out over here is this is a huge thing, particularly where I live, pink eye. It's something that can affect your cattle, your sheep, your goats. The thing that we've used in the past that I mean I would caution you about, and I don't know if that would work for the sheep, but I know that if you introduce some of kerosene in with a salt block and let that set up, it does a chemical process that over time, if used and applied out with your livestock, it has stopped pink eye. Very weird. I don't really know the science behind that, but learned that from a farmer a long time ago, passed on to our family. It's been very useful, so just something to keep in mind, and I'm actually going to continue to research that to see if that would be, if anybody's experimented with that with sheep. Anyway, moving on. Lambing. You know, something that my wife said that a lot of sheep get lost is with lambing. A lot of sheep have a hard time lambing, and goats do too at times. And this book goes over the information about that. Not only this, I love it how it's got the very important highlights of, you know, when should I assist it? You know, I mean, you know, it's got all these points that you need to look for whenever the time comes for you to start lambing. Now, you want to make money off your sheep, obviously, if you're going to get into that. Otherwise, you're prepping it for food value and milk. Shearing your sheep, it goes over this point by point. And later down the road, obviously, that may make a very good prep to barter with other people. Not only that, to sell industrially. And so it's got that information in there as well. And lastly, one of the things that I'm very excited to see if we can get going is milking your sheep and milking your goats. You know, that's something that don't get talked about a lot in America because, you know, here in America we're big in the cattle milk. But anyway, information is provided in the book here about milking your sheep and everything, how to take care of that. A very useful book, and I totally am glad that little man got that book and picked it up. I enjoyed going through it. I'm going to give it like a full go over again as soon as the sheep arrive with the 4-H, because I want to make sure that I know everything I can as far as the division between raising goats and sheep, because we're definitely want to get a good foot started with this. And this book right here, if you're doing anything with sheep, that is definitely a good foundational pillar to help you with it. So until we see you again here at another edition of the Prepper's Bookshelf, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.